As we have been discussing regarding one's own self, the truth about one's own self, but it is not that easy to accept and appreciate. So here we stopped. Because I know I am a dukhi, miserable person. For that I don't need any pramana. I don't need any advice. I don't need including God's grace. Nothing. Okay? Because I know I am a dukhi. In fact, I can give you much more description about dukkha. But when scripture says, hey, you are Sukha Swarupam, you are Ananda Swarupam, it's not that easy to accept the scripture. Nor I can reject. Because the scripture, the teaching is so, let us say, tight and so systematic. It does not leave any space for me to discard. Then comes this Sravana Mananam. After Mananam, weakening my logic. This is the next step, okay? After Shravanam, because of Shraddha, you do Shravanam, start listening to the teacher and teaching. Now, you do Mananam. So, through the Mananam, reflecting upon the teaching, you discover the teaching becomes stronger and your logic, I would rather say your habitual logic, habitual way of thinking, habitual way of interpreting becomes weaker and weaker. So when your habitual way of interpretation becomes weaker and weaker, that is called Mananam job. But even if your habitual error or thinking or pattern becoming weaker and weaker, still at the moment of your, let us say, affliction, moment of bitter experience, moment of tough time, look, this is not going to work. The true color of you comes out. So there comes Nitidhyasana. So the Nitidhyasana part takes care of there. To make sure that the Kashayam, we use the word Kashayam. So Kashayam means whatever is exactly like, when you drink Kashayam, it's not true meaning, but I am trying to explain. So Kashayam means all these Ayurvedic, drink, okay? So all sort of medicines and whatnot, okay? So that is called Kashayam, we say, okay? For example, just I am telling you Tulasi, because this is very good one I am telling you, okay? This is very good to drink. Still, Tulasi leaf, in that ginger, then there is pepper, and in that there will be long pepper, and a few other herbs, let us say, we'll put it and make a paste. And that paste when you drink, what happens? In fact, your eyes, nose, everything starts fire, burning, okay? Everything is on fire. And of course, if any virus is there, including this so-called COVID, either will run away or cry, okay? There is no third option, okay? However, when you drink this Kashayam, this is the point. After drinking the Kashayam, that lingering, the taste and experience will start lingering for some time. That's why many people have got this allergic with reference to many things. For example, if you continuously eat sweet, morning sweet, lunch sweet, evening sweet, dinner sweet, only sweet, 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 after a few days what happens? The moment you hear the word sweet, you understand? Something will happen in you. So that is called again lingering. Just I am trying to say lingering. Now we all have some type of vasanas, some type of impressions Maybe that is carried, sometimes that carried forward from our previous life or in this life, either or. That keeps lingering. In fact, that is what I always highlight. That our response or reaction to any given situation is mostly connected to our parents, unless you are systematic. Especially if you observe your subconscious mind, this is what I highlight very carefully, means when you react without your knowledge, all your reaction is connected to your mother. And all your response, how you respond consciously, okay? Subconscious mind is connected to mother, and response means conscious mind is connected to your father. For example, how father thinks in a given situation. What to be done, how to go about it. When the crisis comes, when you start thinking consciously, you will do the exact like father. Whereas if you have to, same situation, you have to react. You will exactly connect to your mother. There are some exception cases, it's different thing altogether, but almost it happens in all the cases. You can see for yourself. Exceptions are different. No, don't look at exception as a rule. It's an amazing thing happens. Unless a person works. So again, father and mother are nothing connected to our previous life karma. It is not our this life karma. See, I have not decided my parents, thank God. Or else I was the first person to discard them, and I am sure you all would have discarded. Very rarely, I have so far not come across, very rarely who can say, yes, I love my father. Even if somebody says here, okay? However, so here, when this vasana lingers, so these vasanas are related to few things. So in my nididhyasana, I am supposed to relook my vasanas. So when I start relooking vasanas, I don't have to do anything. In fact, I don't have to negotiate. That's why I say meditation is not to negotiate. Meditate not to negotiate, but meditate just to meditate. Few days, just I was creating a thing. So meditate not to negotiate, but meditate just to meditate. This is just playing with the words, okay? Only gas, nothing else, okay? This is not our teaching, okay? This is my problem. But people say, wow, okay? But remember, this is not our teaching at all. This is called New Age teaching, okay? To attract hook. However, here, to make sure I don't have to negotiate with anything, but I need to relook my way of thinking, especially association, how my vasanas is dragging. Just it is like, hard disk. Sometimes I love to watch, this is what I do, that's what I'm trying to say. Give command to defragmentation. Especially, in my case, I'm trying to say, you have put so many things in your computer, and you have deleted file, that force is crying left, right. And there you can see the interesting, I have seen, because I have done consciously to just observe defragmentation in new computer, which is not supposed to be, but I do love to watch that. After using for some time, I have done defragmentation, and of course, my usual computer, I do the defragmentation. Now, when you do the defragmentation and go to the details, you will see boxes. blue files, red files means you will not move at all, okay? So that is called program files. So very nice, suddenly you jump there. Very nice to watch. Whereas blue files, there is a link. It's very nice to understand. Because that, remember, computer is nothing but extension of the mind. That's why I'm giving the explanation, nothing else. I am not here to teach computer, okay? So here, when you see the defragmentation happens, because the hard disk is spinning, when you store data, it keeps spinning. Now when it keeps spinning, the data gets stored everywhere. So even if it is 10 MB, okay, no, actually you have to go more than 1 GB data, because this MB doesn't work there. You will find out the interest. If it is 1 GB data, a big file, it keeps storing everywhere. But remember, when it stores this place, then it stores this place because jumping, moving, there is a link. It's a very nice thing to observe. You have to really minutely observe this point. There is a link. So defragmentation, what it does, through the link it brings back together and puts all the things in one place. Or else what will happen when you open a file, that's why sometimes to open a file takes longer time. Have you not observed? So what does it mean? It has been stored in many places and it tries to collect data. That's why if one pointer is cut somewhere, the file opens halfway. You understand? Or it does not open. All these things happens because of the pointer is lost. The connecting points are lost. This is in short about defragmentation. Same thing also in the mind. Now my vasanas are being stored in different portions of the mind. Interestingly, this computer has got only hard disk called conscious mind. I can access. Whereas the vasana is not only stored in the conscious mind, it is also stored in subconscious mind and sometimes unconscious mind. Remember, subconscious mind is very less, may not be 1% of the total mind, may not be, because so far nobody is able to say, no psychologist, nobody has come to conclusion yet, no solid data so far. Subconscious mind is much more. And unconscious mind, let us not talk. This is the truth, this is the reality. How it works? It is exactly like, nowadays I am not curious or much interested. Earlier days, in 90s I was crazy to do all this job, okay? I think I have discussed with you people how it works, like that. Suppose a hard disk is 1 TB, because all of you are almost computer educated people, and some of you are much more studied computer engineering, whatnot. So I am just a bacha in front of you people, okay? So smiling because Swamiji, you are targeting us, okay? No, I am not targeting anybody today, okay? I am very kind, okay? So anyway, 1 TB of a hard disk, maximum how much data it can store? Definitely less than 1 TB. Because there has to be gap and other files, blah blah blah. So if the truth is 1 TB of any hard disk must save less than that data. Is it true? I can store in 1 TB hard disk, I can store more than 2 TB data. I have worked on, okay? How is very simple. First, you make the hard disk full, complete. Then delete all the file. Now empty. Again you restore. Another data you can put it. 2 times, 3 times you can do. Now use the softwares. Those days I was using, that's why I am trying to recover software. Through the recover software, you can get all the data back which has been deleted. Those days data I was able to 99% data I was able to recover, not 100% I could not. 99% of the data I could recover. In fact, I started with the pen drive and small hard disk. I have done all the experiment just for the sake of experiments, okay? At that time I was crazy to understand. So for a common person, a hard disk which is 1 TB can store less than 1 TB data. But in reality, 1 TB data disk can store much more than 1 TB. Depends upon what sort of software you have to recover, to access. Is it clear? Same thing also with reference to conscious and subconscious mind. And let us not talk about unconscious mind, okay? Because unconscious mind can be connected to cloud server. And in cloud server, God knows how many data you can keep it. So in short, what I am trying to highlight here is nothing much. All the pointers are there. From conscious to subconscious, subconscious to unconscious, unconscious to conscious, you understand? All these data are being stored in such a way, vasanas, and these vasanas are pointer. Remember, this is the most important point to arrive at. Our impressions are the connecting points. They are the pointers. Now, those impressions only brings back the data. So if the impression is being cut, is it destroyed, is it weakened, data to recover takes longer time, or we may not recover. Can you see this point? There are different methods. Like for example, Alzheimer, a disease, neurological disorders, or some accident happens, memory loss, or the person goes through serious depression. And of course physical terms are there, let me not get into that details. The person's pointer becomes weaker. So when the person's pointers becomes weaker, is not able to access. Can you see this point? And suddenly something happens, all the data comes back. Now here the nididhyasana, where you are working consciously to make these pointers weaker. Can you see this point? How beautifully. So you work consciously to make this pointer weaker. Because in Alzheimer case, what happens? Or in all other cases, you can say, wow, this is the case. Then why to go through all these things? Better to hit our car and memory loss. Or Alzheimer, all these things. So everything is taken care. So why to go through this process? The problem is there. You do not know which pointer is going to be cut, okay? Sometimes you will forget that you have eaten food or not, okay? Food is okay. Whether you have gone to toilet or not, that you also forget. That is very sad. Then you think, no pressure, suddenly fall down. You understand? Problem for you, problem for others. Elderly people, they go through that stage because of this reason only. Because that is a natural process. It happens without their knowledge. So here you work consciously through the contemplation, nididhyasana, to weaken the pointer. And when you start working it, then you start enjoying whichever pointer creates problem for you. That is to be focused, that is to be aimed at, that is to be looked in a priority basis. It's like the moment you close your eyes. Which thought comes to you first? Whichever incident has bothered you a lot. Simple. Two things will come. Either immediate, that has happened, immediate, or going to happen immediate, or whichever has really affected you a lot. There is no third thing. Then other thoughts will come. So here he points out few points. What are the things to be done? Not necessary to negotiate, but here Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. So when he says Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani, that Tattvamasi, that means what? That you are that. And what is that? Yat Brahma. That Brahman is me. Bhavayatmani. Meditate in your mind. Means I am Brahman. But how to meditate? How to dwell upon? How to contemplate? He says, look, when you say I am Brahman, the totality, the impression will say, what nonsense. Just now you fought with your parents. Just now you fought with your partner. Just now you fought with your child. Just now you fought with your workers. How can you say you are Brahman? At that time, where you are Brahman went, you were in a Brahma, okay? Because in Tamil Nadu people, they have got a big problem with the pronunciation, okay? Very funny, you have to be very careful. Sometimes they do not know whether they say Brahma or Brahma, okay? God said, be careful, okay? Brahma is Brahman, okay? Brahma means B-A-B-H, same thing, okay? B-R-A-H-M-A, Brahma. Brahma is B-H-R-A-M-A, Brahma, okay? Brahma, Brahma. Many times I hear Brahma, okay? So Brahma means delusion, completely opposite. So here, hey, you have a Brahma here, not a Brahma, okay? Don't say you have delusion in your mind. Please, God said, don't do that. Mind will suggest. Because whatever you have thought, where was your Brahman? Did not work. Now he says, look, why all these things happen? Because of association of a few things in our life. And what are they? Let us read with this background, okay? Jati niti kula gotra duragam nama rupa guna dosha varjitam desha kala visayati vartiyate Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. So you can really memorize these verses actually worth. Jati niti kula gotra duragam nama rupa guna dosha varjitam desha kala vishayati vartiyate Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. These are the verses generally are taken for the camps, like 2-3 days, 5-4 days camp. It will be very good. Especially you want to put a hook for common people, newcomers. They will be very happy. So he says, look, Jati, Niti, Kula, Gotra, Duragam. Remember, generally you connect yourself with your caste. Jati. So when you say caste, so always you look at your lineage, what you are doing, and of course your community. That's why you follow certain niti, creed. I belong to this creed, some principle we have, some values we have. Then of course comes Kula, my family. I am from noble family, or I am from nobody family. Either are okay. In fact, my father is not that good, that's why look, I am humiliated everywhere. Especially in politics, okay? If you are not from a royal family or big family, even if you go to top, they will say, after all, he is from ordinary family. You understand? I don't know how to name it at this moment. Anybody. Even if you go to the top post, always family will come. It depends upon how you make use, okay? Like for example, I should not talk, but still I can tell you, like you know this Modi, Narendra Modi, okay? He uses family card very carefully. Yes, I am from poor family because he markets very well. So he knows how to talk, but there are many other cases I don't want to get into. Gotra, the lineage. And of course, Nam, the name that you have, and the name is associated. Name is not mere name. Your name is associated to many things. In fact, we will be discussing this point in details. Rupa, the form that you have, or you created, or you are associated with different forms. Guna, the qualities, the merits. Of course, dosha, defects, demerits. And remember, I am someone is varjitam, is without all these things. And of course goes desha kala vishaya ati varti yat. I am someone beyond or more than what? Desha. Desha means a space, a given location. Kala, time, vishaya and object. Now, when we close our eyes, now this is the literal meaning, let us look at in details. When you close your eyes, whatever thought comes, especially whatever thought hits you, is that thought connected to any one of these or not? Definitely. Either it is connected to your caste, your creed, your family, your lineage, your name, fame, your form, your merit or demerits. Merit is less, demerit is more. Or sometimes merit is more, demerit is less, because you don't see your demerit. There are people who don't see the demerit at all, okay? That's the worst part. And of course, desha, the space, kala, time, and vishaya objects. So here is being highlighted. When it starts hitting you, through any one of them or through some of them, either or. Sometimes it starts hitting only through one of them, then it gets connected, keeps jumping. As you know, Shivaraman, okay, Om Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, with a cool concentration you go to Ganga, look, with the Ganga water, I should dhyan, meditate upon Lord Shiva. So you have stones and all these things, then you visualize, okay, Lord Shiva, wow, this is the place of Lord Shiva. Shiva, 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 Shiva. Suddenly you discover, hey, from Shiva's head, Ganga came out. What happened to Parvati? You understand? Then you know where mind will go. Either will go on behind Parvati, you know, Parvati, there was one film actress. Then you know where you end. Or you can say Shiva, that's Shiva Raman. Suppose you are a man, okay? A woman will go, man will go for, you know, Parvati film actress. If you are a woman, Shiva Raman. But Shiva Raman was not good, okay? In fact, he cheated us. There, because women are really accommodated many things, okay? That fellow cheated our whole family. Look. And you know where you jump and how you jump, nothing, you know. Then finally, suddenly you discover. Then somebody has make noise or some water splashes. Oh, you wake up, okay. Oh, okay. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So that means when any thought hits you, and especially when you are carried away with that thought, there your job is to take the help of the teacher. not to fight, not to negotiate. Yes, thought also is me. I am Brahman means thought also is me. That Shivaraman cheated me also is me, don't worry. So what you do is, you go along with the thought. So when you go along with thought, you try to see it carefully. Slowly you discover Shivaraman is no more Shivaraman for you. That's why whatever disturbs you, whoever disturbs you, you need to be friendly with that object or person mentally. Because if you do not become friendly with that person, mentally especially, definitely you are going to invite more problem in your life physically and mentally. The best example is this. All these demons, whether it is Hiranyakashipu or Ravana or any demon, that's a beautiful way of saying it. Forget about the demons, even if improve, you can look at your life. Okay, I was telling Hiranyakashipu for example. When he was dead against of Lord Vishnu, everywhere he was talking, criticizing. The more he criticized Lord Vishnu, the more he was closer to Vishnu. Same thing also happens all of us. The more we hate a person, please understand, very serious point. What you hate, I am making a statement, what you hate in your life, finally you fall in love in that. I don't know whether your love will become hatred or not, that I do not know. The object of love will become love of hatred or not, because if you are lucky enough, sometimes it doesn't happen, okay? Because only I have heard all these stories, Laila Majnun. Because as though there is no, in India, okay, as though there is no love story in Hinduism. Only all the Muslims had love. Can you see how they have destroyed our brain? But we have to know what is that called? Kidas. Who was failure? Kidas? You have to unmute and tell me. What is that? I forgot that name, Das name. Devadas. Thank you. So all love failures goes to Das. Now it's a really amazing concept how this, Muslims especially have destroyed the Indian culture. Every nook and corner they have gone into. We have never, have you ever thought of this angle? Never. In fact, it is the other way around. Like, how this Mamta, this Taj Mahal concept, better, okay? Anyway, this is not my job, okay? From meditation, I am going some other place, okay? Perfect Sivaraman case, okay? So, coming back here, okay? So, here, I am supposed to sit down. Whatever I love, or whatever I hate, especially whatever I hate, I need to see the limitation of not that person, limitation of my thinking. How? Strengthening my thinking. Not fighting with the thinking. Can you see this point? So here strengthening what? I am Brahman. So when I say I am Brahman, it is not mere Brahman. What? All the teaching comes. So when I start thinking of Brahman, Advaita, Suddha, all this concept when it comes, mind start reveling on that, dwelling upon that. Automatically, psychologically, I am elevated. Can you see this point? Forget about knowledge aspect. When psychologically I am elevated, I am ready to not only accept, slowly I will be ready to accommodate. And this accommodation, process of accommodating is called contemplation. I accommodate. So that's why what I need to do here is that whatever thought hits me, whether it is related to jati, related to niti, creed, kula, family, gotra, lineage, or it is my name, fame, rupa, my form, because I am proud of my body, or not, I hate my body, either or. Guna, merits, dosha, demerits. All these things I need to see it clearly, carefully. I don't have to run away, nor I have to run behind. That's the point. My problem is either I run away or I run behind. Or if these two doesn't happen, slip off. You understand? Remember, we are not saying to run away, not run behind either. Also at the same time, don't allow your mind to sleep. Don't shut down your system either. You have to do the defragmentation, okay? So that's why when a person starts spending time, I am Brahman, that Brahman is me. Now what happens? The person starts dwelling. Now let's read next. Yat param sakala bhag gocharam bimala bodha chakshusha Suddha chit ghanamanadit vastu yat Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Again, same thing. Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Now meditate in your mind that I am that Brahman. So that Brahman are you, means indirectly that Brahman becomes me. This is the understanding. This is the teacher says, but when teacher says you are that, so don't repeat you are that, okay? So when the teacher says you are that, what is to be understood? Hey look, I am that. Then you can say, yes, oh teacher, you are that, but I am not that, okay? Because you only said you are that, nah, I am repeating it. Remember, in others language, other studies, if the teacher says you are that, if you write I am that, you will be failed. You will be failed because you have done wrong. But here, if the teacher says you are that, and if you write you are that, definitely you are a failure. Not you will be failed. There is no fail or pass. Okay, you become a failure. So, however, so he says beautifully that Yat param. And what is that? That which is param, the supreme, is me. And sakala back agocharam. And who is that me? Sakala back agocharam. Through the words, this me cannot be described. The speech is not enough. Because as long as speech is involved, that long the speaker has to be there. Yeah, that's why Swamiji asked, finally you are coming to experience. Nothing like, experiencing bliss. You understand? Finally you are coming down to the same thing. That is what we are telling. Look, the Shastra has no value. Because Shastra also comes under this speech. You are talking, we are understanding. Hey, please don't. Means it is not the superficial words that people describe. Remember, the word reveals. And when the word reveals, you have to understand it. It's exactly like you have been struggling to eat this chaka payasam. So there is a payasam which I love it. That's why I always try to say this point. Jackfruit payasam. Okay, jackfruit itself is so tasty. Bah. And remember, jackfruit is also very good, even though it's sweet and very nice. It's very good for diabetic. So jackfruit payasam, you cannot think of the taste. So now I explain you jackfruit payasam. Hey, but don't expect, okay? Please, God's sake, I cannot provide. In Himalayas, it's impossible. Suppose if you happens to be in Orissa in the month of June, July, you will be able to get. Because this time I went, I was looking for some jackfruit. They said, Swamiji, season is over. So I was failure, okay, this time. So June is the right time. July also no chance. However, coming back, but in Chennai, throughout the year you will get it, okay? So that's not a problem in Chennai. Coming back, chaka payasam, I say, this is called chaka, jackfruit payasam. I am explaining. Now in your mind there is jackfruit payasam. So you come, Ashram. Now jackfruit payasam is being served to you. So you taste, wow, something very funny, very different, very nice. All these things, then finally you ask, Swamiji is very nice, very good. But you had told me that long back that when you come, ask for chaka payasam, we'll give you. So where is chaka payasam? Can you make something? Remember, while having something you are saying, that time say, look, whatever you are having now is that. That chaka payasam is this. Can you see this point? Sakala visishta devadattaha. Tatkala visishta devadattaha. The Devadatta belongs to that time. Now is present Devadatta. I am Devadatta. So the chaka payasam that I was talking that time, now that you are eating is same. Then what happens to you? Oh, you understand when you say that or not? So what is that oh? That oh is realization, okay? What is realization? Realizing how stupid you are, nothing else. While having chaka payasam, you are looking for chaka payasam. That is called real realization, nothing else, okay? Remember, you are experiencing chaka payasam, but you are not able to understand, you are not able to realize. Let me go through the word realize. Who realized? The experience made you to realize, or the word that I said, the chaka payasam that we were talking is this. Tell me, which made you to realize? The words or the experience? That's why every fellow who has experience could have been liberated, enlightened. That means what? All the trees would have become most enlightened. All the stones must have become really enlightened because they have more experience than us. I am not telling you jokes. In fact, before the class I was talking to Ranjan. One story, something came, I was telling him. It's a long back, I think in 96 or 97 maximum. In Chennai it happened. I don't want to name the person and organization, doesn't look nice. So I happened to be in that organization in Mylapore. And I had admired that Swamiji long before. I had high regards because that time that Swamiji was a very good writer in the magazine he was used to write. When I was a college student, I have read that articles, those articles by him. So definitely, so I happens to be in that place. So one of the known persons said, look, you are here, please let us go and he's here, we can meet him. I said, okay, very good. In fact, I told, look, I had a great admiration for him, nothing like meeting him. So we met. So I did, with a really due respect and did namaskaram to him. The first question he asked, instead of asking how are you and all these things, because he had seen me in those days in the Mylapore Times and other things, some photos. And he asked me, how many years of experience do you have in this knowledge, in this line? This is the first question he asked. Those days, not that I am nowadays bad, good, same worse fellow me, okay, don't worry. But those days I was worse. Nowadays I have become polished, it's the difference, okay. Those days I was raw, real raw means real raw, okay. I said, what do you mean? Swamiji, what do you mean? No, I want to know how many years experience you have in this life. That's all. I said, Swamiji, so you mean experience matters? Yeah, of course. Experience only matters. I said, Swamiji, I showed him a tree was in front of him. That where his house in front of him, there was big trees there. If you go also you can see. Till now. I said, this tree has witnessed great saints like you and better than you. I use the word, like you and better than you. And the amount of a rich experience this tree has, I don't think any one of us, neither you have. So do you mean that I should go and prostrate the tree instead of you? You may believe it or not, that person, that Swamiji, ran away, went inside. Ran inside, he never came out. And after that, you don't ask me what happened. The person who took me said, look, this way of talking. I said, look, I am talking, Swamiji, how are you and all this thing. He put up nicely. Then later on, he could have asked, okay, when did you came to this line and all these things, what made you? That is a way of talking. Not how many years of experience in the first question. Hey, you should have some etiquette, okay? Minimum etiquette I expected from him. Anyway, that Swamiji is over now. That's another point. But a great scholar, okay? So coming back to the point. How this experience does not teach us. If experience teaches us, sorry, each one of us by this time would have enlightened. And every elderly person would have been enlightened. So there is nothing called old person. It's enlightened person only we can use. But does it happen that way? It never happens. So experience really does not teach us anything. To be very honest, that I highlight this is the point in Vedanta, or else it becomes Neo Vedanta. Experience does not teach anything at all. Then experience is useless? No, this is again wrong. Experience does not teach. It does not mean it does not mean it has no usefulness. It has got its own usefulness. What is that? Experience strengthens my understanding. Can you see this point? Experience strengthens my understanding. For example, the Prathama Malla Nyaya I am giving. When yoga people highlights, Nirvikalpaka Samadhi will give you enlightenment. Nirvikalpaka Samadhi is nothing, another type of experience, according to them. But what is in reality, that's not our discussion, okay? So that means they highlight this Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, exclusive type of experience, will give you enlightenment. But Vedanta says, hey look, if Nirvikalpaka Samadhi gives enlightenment, anybody and everybody who goes to coma must be enlightened. Because there is not much difference in coma and this Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. But we don't dismiss either. A Nirvikalpaka Samadhi is very good. In fact, I suggest all of you, at least once in lifetime, you should have Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. It's a really very good tool to have in your hand. Something really amazing. At least once. You will see your strength. The mind works in a different level altogether, to be very honest. But need not be marketed. This is the point, okay? So we say Nirvikalpaka Samadhi will strengthen your understanding, but it will not give you understanding. Can you see this point? So we don't dismiss the experience, but we do not overload the experience either. So that's why here he says, beyond means here, through the word is not sufficient. Word reveals. Once word reveals, light, light does not create object. The light, suppose in this house, there are many things, darkness. Now what happens? Now through the light, oh, because of light I saw this. Did light create anything? Light did not create anything. Light did not reveal. Remember, light does not reveal in reality. Light only removed the darkness. The object was there. So once the abaranam, the darkness, abaranam means darkness, the covering is being removed. Whatever was there, it became visible. So the job of the light is just to reflect. If you talk in physics language, nothing else. So also the word only reflects. Can you see this point? However, then what happens? He says, look, and of course, gocharam at the same time it is experienceable. Bimala bodha chakshusha. How? With this eyes of Bimala bodha, eyes of pure knowledge. Whatever we discussed in details, okay? Suddha chidghanam iti. Suddha means pure, chidghanam means the consciousness. Anadi, beginningless. And this entity is called beginningless. Yat Brahma, that Brahma is what? Tattvamasi. You are that, means I am that. May you dwell upon. May you meditate in your mind. More of it we will see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.